Welcome to a video on color mixing in the RGB spectrum, primary and secondary colors, and the fascinating world of gels and photography. Understanding color and light is crucial for photographers, artists, and anyone working with visual media. Today, we will delve into how colors mix in the RGB model. We will explore the primary and secondary colors, and we will see how gels can transform your photographic work. So let's start with the basics. RGB color mixing. RGB stands for red, green, and blue, which are the primary colors of light. Unlike traditional painting, where colors are mixed subtractively, RGB color mixing is an additive process. That means that colors are created by adding light of different wavelengths together. In the RGB model, colors are created by combining different intensities of red, green, and blue light. So here's how it works. When red and green lights are combined, they produce yellow. When green and blue lights are combined, they produce cyan. When blue and red lights are combined, they produce magenta. And when all three primary colors are combined in equal intensities, they produce white light. This process is known as additive color mixing because it involves adding light of different colors together to create new hues. This is the principle behind digital screens like your computer, your TV, smartphone, which use tiny pixels of red, green, and blue to create the full spectrum of colors you will see. Demonstration time! Imagine you have three spotlights, each projecting red, green, and blue light onto a white screen. Where the red and green lights overlap, you will see a shade of yellow. Where the green and blue lights overlap, you will see cyan. And when blue and red overlaps, you will see magenta. Where all three overlap, you will see white light, and this demonstrates the additive color mixing in action. Also, this demonstrates the saturation, because as soon as you mix all three primary colors or a primary color and the secondary color, which are on the opposite of the color wheel, then you will get more whitish colors. That means you will lose saturation, because saturation is basically the amount of white in your color. Now that we've covered the basics of RGB color mixing, let's move on to understanding primary and secondary colors a little bit more. So in the context of light, the primary colors are red, green, and blue. And these colors cannot be created by mixing other colors of light. And these are the foundation of the RGB color model. These are the building blocks for creating all the other colors in the model. Secondary colors are created by mixing two primary colors, and in the RGB color model, I'm always speaking about the RGB color model, the secondary colors are yellow, and this is a mix of red and green, cyan, which is a mix of green and blue, magenta, which is a mix of blue and red. And the secondary colors are crucial because they expand the range of hues we can create and perceive. A useful tool to understand color relationships is the color wheel. The RGB color wheel shows the primary colors red, green, and blue, and the secondary colors yellow, cyan, and magenta. And by mixing primary and secondary colors, we can create a wider range of hues. For example, like mixing a yellow and red will give you a shade of orange, while mixing blue and cyan gives you this aquamarine look. Let's shift our focus to photography and discuss how gels are used to manipulate light and color in photographic work. So what are gels? Gels are thin sheets of colored plastic or polyester that are placed in front of your light source to change the color of light. They come in a wide range of colors and densities, and they are allowing photographers to precisely control the color and intensity of the light in their shots. However, you still need to learn how to use them. There are basically three different types of gels, and they fulfill a different purpose. First, we have color correction gels. These gels adjust the color temperature of a light to match other lights in a scene or to achieve a specific color balance. Common examples include CTO, which stands for color temperature orange gels. They will warm up the light, and CTB, color temperature blue gels, which cool down the light. Then we have diffusion gels. These are used to soften the light, reducing harsh shadows and creating a more even illumination. And then we have color effect gels, and these ones are used to add color to the light for creative effects. They can be used to add a splash of color to a scene, to highlight a subject with a colored light, or create a special mood or atmosphere. Using gels effectively requires an understanding on how they interact with the light and the subject. So here's a few tips in how to use gels in photography. First, balancing color temperatures. When working in mixed light conditions, for example, you're standing inside of a house and the sun is outside, so you have a warmer color temperature outside than the inside, or the opposite way around. You can use CTB or CTO filters to match the artificial light source to the natural light. You can create mood and atmosphere. So you can use color gels, effect gels to set a mood of your photo, while warm colors like red and orange can create a cozy, inviting atmosphere. You can have cool colors like blue and green and cyan to evoke calmness or mystery, and also create some sort of dynamic for sport shots, for example. Then you can use color gels to highlight subjects. For example, a splash of blue light can make a portrait a bit more dramatic, while a red backlight can create a dramatic silhouette. So let's do some practical examples. Imagine you're shooting a portrait in a studio, and the main light source is a softbox with a white balance of 5600K. And you want to have a sunset-like feel. You can place a CTO gel over the main light and to bring its color temperature down to around 3K. You can use a blue gel on the background to create a complementary color contrast, which makes the subject stand out against that blue background even more. Color mixing in the RGB spectrum, understanding primary and secondary colors, and using gels in photography are all interconnected aspects of working with light and color. So when you're a photographer, digital artist, or simply someone interested in the science of color, mastering these concepts can greatly enhance your creative work. So let's do a short recap. RGB color mixing is an additive process that creates color by combining red, green, and blue light. Primary colors in the RGB model are red, green, blue, which create the secondary colors, yellow, cyan, and magenta, by mixing two of the primary colors. Gels are a very versatile tool and also a very cheap tool in photography, and can be used for color correction, creative effects, or also for diffusion. And by understanding and experimenting with these principles, you can unlock a world of possibilities in your visual projects. Remember, the key to mastering color is practice and experimentation. Don't be afraid to try new combinations and see how different colors interact with each other. This concludes our video on color mixing in the RGB spectrum. If you have any questions or would like to see more content on this topic, please leave a comment below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this one. Thanks for watching, stay creative, keep exploring the world of color and light. Until next time, this was Stefan.